Hi guys, this is the Siren Sims back on my channel, TheSirenSayz, where we talk about TV, movies, and soon to come books and everything that I like, dislike, the good, bad, and the ugly, all up and through and in between those spaces. So if you like Sims, watch my latest Sims video. There it is right there. However, we are here to discuss this, the Five Nights at Freddy's official teaser. I watched it, so we're just gonna have it playing in the background, okay? Just gonna have it playing in the background. However, oof. Okay, here's my issue with this trailer. My sister said that, the trailer wasn't giving in terms of the animatronics, and we can see them here as Josh Hutcherson turns on the lights. At first I was like, well, they look pretty fine to me, but as I watched the whole trailer, I was like, okay, yeah. I think one of the things about video games themselves is that things that aren't necessarily that scary to like grown adults, you can be brought back to the mind state of a child with that horror. You know what I mean? So like people who are going to watch this movie have some idea of the GT Live lore. Now I know there are other lore that people take as canon, but the lore that Scott mainly uses as canon is the GT Live lore, not Pat theories. How are we gonna be scared if they literally just look like giant bunny mascots with animatronic parts with red eyes? I don't know if that was the right way to use. My sister said that she wishes the suits were more haggard. I don't know if the suits need to be more haggard, because like the suits when they were performing, right, they looked good. Like it looked like it came right out of the video game. But then when they were torturing him or menacingly looking for the kid, all you saw was like the red eye. I don't know. I feel like there was a better choice to be made there. They could have done something different. It's like, let's just see it again. Like, here's what I did like about the trailer. I like this sort of analog screening. You see me use it a lot in my editing. This does bring up a sort of back in the day sort of horror. So that was cool. That was cool to see. They kind of bring like the analog videotape type style instead of using phone guy. Who's writing this? Because most people, right? Most people want certain things, and other people usually agree with them. What do I mean? Most people agreed that it would have been cool if either Matthew Patrick, Matt Pat from GT Live, or Markiplier, which is Mark Fishbach, I think that's his name, either one of those two that has two of the most distinct voices and some of the best voices in indie gamer YouTube space. We wanted them to like voice phone guy. Pick one of them to voice phone guy, and instead they just threw away phone guy and added in this lady. They just added her in as a sort of a stand-in for phone guy. Yes, she's doing a good job. She's creepy. She kind of has this like, hi guys, robotic smile. But like, I don't know. I think one thing that my sister said is that, she's hoping that the story is going to be good. And my sentiments were, what is the story that you're going to tell? Matt Pat has 3 eras of storytelling for this game. And what I mean is that, like, apart from the timeline he's doing now, he's had 3 eras that are essentially 3 different stories that he's trying to connect together now with this timeline that he's doing. If you picked any one of those eras where he was telling FNAF lore theories, I'd be fine. But what are you actually going to do? You have some pretty good people here, right? I think Josh Hutcherson is a great pick. I think the guy who played Shaggy, for some reason I'm forgetting his name. Let me not. The guy who plays Shaggy, excellent choices. I think they're inspired, and I think that they can play the roles well. But people only liked their casting because they are aware of the lore. They are aware of the story behind Five Nights at Freddy's. So once you take that into account, right? We like him, right, Josh Hutcherson, because we think he could properly emote the security guard. Now, I'm about to spoil some theories here, so if you're not into that, you can go. He is supposed to be the son of the murderer. Okay, the son of the purple guy. That is what theories have predicted, and that is what Scott so much as names as canon for us to believe. Once we heard that he has come out of retirement or whatever, he wasn't getting any work, I don't know why, he's been a child actor since forever. Once Josh came out of retirement and said, oh, I'm going to be playing Michael Afton, you were like, huh, okay, cool. I could see him, being a bully as a kid, but then regretting it and going on a vengeful mission to free the souls that the father has taken. Like, we could see him going on that type of quest. Peter seems like the type that would try to avenge somebody. You know what I mean? And I think that because the actors that you picked can do the job, I think some people aren't considering what is the story that these actors are going to be telling. You know what I mean? So this, right? You can see this looks very practical. And I know there are lots of people who are complaining about CGI nowadays, but when I'm in a horror movie, I don't know if this is scary. This doesn't seem scary to me. This looks fake. Like, I could almost say Inspector Gadget had better. Almost. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not going to be like those people that tear it apart and say it's terrible. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is just a teaser. I hope the story is a little deep. It doesn't have to be too deep, a little deep and frightening. I hope that what we're seeing now is just tip of the iceberg and we ain't seen nothing yet, right? Will this story include the puppet? How much of the lore that is actually canon and that we are accustomed to will you be using? I think those are the questions that we have, because I don't really like these images of... Okay, so what I was trying to say is I'm not really feeling the way that the animatronics are when they're attacking, right? When they were there in the beginning, where was that? Yeah, where they were right here in the beginning, just singing. They're on stage, they're doing music. This is so cool. They look just alike, right? Bonnie, Freddy, Chica, great. They have the cupcake, right? It looks like they have everything. The pizzeria looks like it came right out of the game. It looks like they're trying to follow the lore by the scenery, right? But by little changes, like no more phone guy who hasn't been completely added to the lore concretely but has always been there. By having the animatronics do things that you've never seen them do in the game, like reveal blades, like chain blades that pop out of the heads, and like having the security guard be tied up in the chair. Like, let me explain, right? One of the horrors of the game was like, it was horrific, but it was kind of dumb too. Like in the first game, just pour water on him, or why don't you just run out? Like, little things like you're really sitting there hiding in the room, but you could have escaped, right? Okay, so I guess him sitting there in the chair being hung up like a conveyor belt is supposed to show to us that, hey, this isn't like the game. There's not going to be an easy way out here. Not only does he have a connection to the place, but he's gonna be stuck there, which I understand. But depending on how much they change, how much of the recognizable story will there be? Because people are hoping to see the recognizable story in live action, right? So those red eyes, and why is Beck from You in this movie? I don't really like her and stuff. Like, she doesn't really strike me when I see her and stuff, but she's pretty, I guess. So you see, here he is, and there's a bunch of these kids. What does this mean? right? Ooh, I think there's about 5. Oh my god. Is this a representation of the 5 dead children? Because there are 5 dead kids, right? Is this a representation of the 5 dead kids? There's Fritz, there's one with an S. Let me not pretend that I know all of their names, but I know that there are 5 dead children. Does this mean, and yes, I will definitely be watching Matt Pat when he turns this teaser into a 1-hour video. We love him over here. But what does that mean? Does these seem like good things? Does this mean that he's going to be adding in the lore, right? Or enough of the lore that when we see 5 kids running around in a forest, we know that these are the 5 kids that died, the first 5 to die, right? Susie, I remember Susie, she died. She is the one who's in Chica. I am the first. I have seen everything. So, yeah. Chica, Susie, we know Cassidy. Cassidy's the puppet. I really want to know if they're gonna have the puppet in here, because that means that, you know, it's gonna be more than one movie, and they're gonna add in, you know, the lore. So I really hope the puppet is in here, even if it's like at the end of the movie as an end credit scene. I would love for the puppet to be in here just to foreshadow that this can continue, because I'd really love to see that. In any case, like, what's happening? There's too much daytime for me personally. Not because, you know, most of the wicked stuff comes out at night. There's this kid, he's in, if you've heard of the books, I know the books are controversial, but I wish I could buy the books so I could read them. In the ball pit, hiding from Freddy in the ball pit. Like, how much lore are we using? Is this a call out to the books and the time traveling ball pit? And, you know, the kid who time traveled in the ball pit saw one of the first murders, or was like it's exciting because they're showing things that show that they've seen the books and they've seen the video games. But does this mean that the lore that is attached to these visuals, right? Because they're showing a lot of Easter egg visuals, like, ooh, there are 5 kids, who could they be? Ooh, there's a ball pit and a kid is hiding in it and Freddy's looking for him. Like, there are all of these call out Easter egg scenes. Do these scenes mean that we can expect the lore that comes with them? Or is it just, we're just adding them in because they're buzzwords and we want y'all to be excited? You know? Because I don't want to be too excited for this, because I really just don't know. So those are my questions. I think it looks good. I'm just not sold on the terror of the animatronics. That's all. However, I will go to see it, because I know Josh Hutcherson has never been in a bad movie ever. Neither has the guy who plays Shaggy. So I'm here. I am here. I will be giving my money to the cinema. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think I had some good points or not? Or I'm just a dummy and I just need to wait to see the movie? Hey, if I'm going to defend Little Mermaid, I'm not going to crap on Five Nights at Freddy's, okay? I just have a few questions and I have a few notes. That's all. I don't think it's a bad trailer at all. I don't even think it's going to be a bad movie. I just hope that some of the things that we would have been excited to see in live action are there. And since this is just a teaser, I'm hoping it's because I'm just not seeing enough. That's what I hope. Okay. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't let the animatronics bite. And I'll talk again when the full trailer comes out. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. Goodbye, my sires. Susul.